Hello and welcome. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, and retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz, proud supporter of our podcast network and everything we do. Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump and UConn legendary men's basketball player Jake Voskuhl. They specialize in tax plans for businesses large or small. They will save you money or get you a big fat return on your taxes. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm is located in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you've suffered any type of personal injury, slip and fall, car accident, your mother-in-law ran you over with her car, your wife got angry one night and decided to stab you, the Finch Firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all across the state of Connecticut. He will go to war to get every dollar you deserve in compensation. You just have to remember, in a pinch, call Finch or go to his website, thefinchfirm.com. Dynamic Human Performance is owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. He trains boys and girls of all ages, all sports. He has a boot camp program 7 days a week, 6 a.m. You want to get in shape, you go to Andre. He has an athletic development program where he trains boys and girls in the sport of their choice from the ground up, helps them reach their full potential, be the best they can possibly be. Andre has sent boys and girls to college on scholarship for all different types of sports. To work with the best, he has a 5,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility in Hartford, Connecticut. Go to www.dynamichumanperformance.com. All right, and here we are for Husky Talk SNS. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully, and with me, as always, former UConn star and captain, Mr. Sean Mulcahy. Sean, how are you?
Good. How's my hair?
I love your hair. I love your hair. It's delightful.
I need a haircut, man. I need a
No,
haircut.
just keep growing it out. Just keep growing it out. Let it go. Let it go. Oh, wow. It's to the left. I love it.
I feel like I look like what's his name in Revenge of the Nerds.
I was thinking about that too. I was thinking about that too.
We got a lot to talk about, bro.
Yeah. So I wanted
Matt Nagy, take a fucking hike.
That's what I wanted to start with. What the fuck? We hit a home run with Harbaugh and then Nagy. Really?
Brutal.
I wanted Davis Webb and we fucking Nagy. Like, of all people, like, we could have got Norris. I mean, come on. Matt Nagy?
So bad, dude. Like, I know Andy Reid loves him, but I was really reading his bio, and he likes to spread the ball around, which is great. So his teams always lead the league in receivers with like Tyreek Hill always led the team in receptions, but then they had like 6 guys with like 40 or 50 receptions.
Yeah, but you know that Andy Reid called the plays.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, and Eric Bieniemy just came back.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
It's like, you know, why Matt Nagy? I mean,
all they can get.
He was the head coach with the Bears. He was the coordinator for Kansas City this past year, and they were a disaster. Yep. He still interviewed for head coaching jobs. He was a finalist in Tennessee that went to Robert Saleh, which I was happy that he got.
Tennessee
But
might be good.
I think they need someone who can work with Cam Ward. That's the biggest thing.
Daboll could do that. And
exactly. I think, Daboll, they're thinking, and it was funny because they said Saleh hated Daboll.
Yeah.
That pretty much everyone probably hates Daboll, but they're probably thinking that he can work the same magic that he did with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
But Cam
Ward, he had a little success with Daniel Jones before he got the jitters and got hurt.
He did 100%.
Jackson Dart a little bit too.
But again, I like that Bieniemy came back. I was disappointed because my other co-host Frank and I would always talk, and we would for years we would wonder why isn't Bieniemy getting hired for a head job, and Frank was just like, he must interview horrible. There's no reason that he should not have gotten a head coaching job.
Yeah.
After Super Bowl, he's the OC. He does a lot of the work, and he goes
he had the DUI like 15 years ago.
Right, exactly. And he went to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
He did awful.
Yep.
He left and went back to college. And then he comes back to the NFL, and I was happy for him. For the Giants, I wanted Davis Webb or Kingsbury, or even a dark horse would have been Charlie Weiss Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Bless you, guy. I just don't think Matt Nagy is the guy. I think that's an awful hire.
Couple positives I heard on Nagy. Obviously, Reed's backing, but I was surprised to see this. He did win 7 games with Justin Fields at quarterback, which is pretty impressive.
That is very impressive. Yes.
And Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, right. That's right. When they were absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
So the other hire that we have been talking about in good old upstate New York, Joe Brady gets the Bills job.
Yep.
What were your thoughts on that?
It's clear as day to me. They had no game plan after firing McDermott, and that's all they could get. Kind of like how all we could get was Matt Nagy.
I agree with that, and I was just thinking, what the hell did you hire? Why did you fire McDermott then? I know that they need to reset the defense and make changes there. I would have thought that you keep McDermott, fire the DC, bring in a new DC, and change it that way. If you're just going to promote Brady, I didn't think there was a need to fire McDermott. I mean, 9 years. I mean, he takes him to the playoffs.
Yep.
When Buffalo, I mean, they made 7 consecutive postseason appearances, but before that, they were a laughingstock.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that, and
it was knee-jerk reaction, bro. And then teams saw that. They saw the owner, who's obviously not all with it. They see a general manager very similar to Joe Shane in terms of doing a shit job, but still retaining his power and job.
He's promoted. Yeah. He gets promoted.
Yeah. So what head coach, what reputable head coach is going to want to go into that situation?
You know what? Probably nobody.
That's why they had to go with Brady.
Probably nobody. I mean, if you're firing McDermott, there weren't, and they said this before, there were a ton of openings, but there were not a lot of qualified coaches to replace them.
Yeah.
The worst coaching hire, in my opinion, was the Steelers with Mike McCarthy. What did you think about that?
Another situation where they weren't prepared and it's the best they could do. And obviously they didn't have the time that they put in to find Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. So they went with a native who's always had love for the Steelers, is from the area. The people, the fans from the area, they may not like McCarthy, but they definitely respect him. He's a solid bridge coach.
Yes.
For what they need, because I see him there max 2 or 3 years.
That's what I was thinking. You're absolutely right. He will be a bridge coach. I was just surprised because they have prided themselves on going with young guys. Yep. They've had 3 head coaches in the entire history of the freaking franchise. So when they bring in a 60-year-old, I was just blown away by that.
Yeah.
And it also brings up the question, Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to come back?
If I were Aaron, I would, because when I saw the way Aaron spoke about Mike a couple years ago when he was with the Jets, you could tell he had reflected on the past and was like, I actually like this guy. So I wouldn't be surprised if Rodgers comes back.
Yeah. And McCarthy did say some good things about Aaron Rodgers and said that he would like to have him back.
Yeah.
So I thought this was funny. A recent survey conducted by the Buffalo News showed that over 75% of participants disagreed with the decision to fire McDermott. And they ran another survey where less than 38% agreed that Brady was the right hire for head coach.
So I spoke to a die-hard Buffalo Bills fan, and she knows her shit on football. And she's furious. She's like, Brandon Beane's an idiot. These guys don't know what they're doing. They're about to set the franchise back at least a couple years. The Bills fans are not happy. The best hire they made was Jim Leonard, because they brought back an old guy who has a bright future as a D coordinator, but again, unproven as the top guy like Joe Brady.
100%.
They're rolling the dice, man, with this guy's career, who probably, I don't know if he's going to play till 45 like Breeze and Brady or whatever, but not with the way he runs around.
No. And Bean was pissed, and he made some comments. He said basically, this is the same thing I said when I took Josh Allen. If I'm wrong, the moving company will be at my house. So I understand, and I'm not going to have regret choosing someone to appease the outside if I thought I should have been something different. If I'm wrong, I'll fucking take my job and fucking go home. So he just exploded on the media.
Yeah, because he's getting shit on, because he should be getting shit on. It's bullshit.
Yeah. And the press conference with Terry Pagula, where he jumped in and answered the question about Keon Coleman, I was like, are you kidding me? So, yeah, the coach's decision. We let the coaches make the decision.
Yeah,
sure.
Okay. Yeah,
sure. They let them do whatever they want.
We're all
the other big news, I would say, Bill Belichick not selected for the Hall of Fame.
Dude, like, It's
Do
amazing.
you think it's just because he's surly and pissed people off? And
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
That's it.
yeah, he just rubbed the media the wrong way, and nobody wanted to vote for him.
Yeah. So 100 years ago, the media was great at voting for Hall of Famers and All-Stars because it was a much smaller pool, and it was guys who were really dedicated and really focused on certain aspects of certain games. Now it's a gigantic swimming pool that's overflowing of heads, even though they have expanded votes and try to keep it professional. It clearly hasn't worked out well. Certain people are not doing it professionally. They're either doing it through grudges or personal gripes or likes and dislikes of teams, favoritism, nepotism, all this BS where you can't take it seriously anymore. The best, if you look at all the Hall of Fames, I guess the NHL one is now the only legit one, and I don't even know anything about hockey because baseball's always been a joke, especially with a few years ago when they let Harold Baines into the Hall of Fame. I watched Ricky Henderson on the Oakland A's as one of my favorite players growing up, so I saw Harold Baines play a lot. He was okay. He was average, maybe a little bit above average, not even close to a Hall of Famer, to the point where Harold Baines said, I can't believe I got in. I didn't think I'm not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
now that's happening.
exactly.
The NBA has always been a joke. If you make one All-Star game, you're a Hall of Famer. So that's nothing new with the NBA. They put everybody in. Seriously, you make one All-Star game, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And now the NFL's going down through this crap because they try to fix it the wrong way. And that senior committee, limiting the senior committee to like certain picks and certain rules is stupid. And they might realize it now, but as time goes on, there's more and more qualified players. So you can't keep the limited amount of spaces the same. You have to expand it because there's more players.
Exactly. And they have the 5-year waiting period, but there's so many qualified great players who should be in, and it's just becoming a mess. And
Robert Kraft is
that's what I was going to say. Robert Kraft didn't get in.
I don't necessarily like him. Some of the things he's done is disgusting, but as an owner, he's done a really good job. Like, he bought that team when they were shit.
And he had nothing, and he scraped money together to do it.
Yeah, and he brought in Bill Parcells because he recognized he needed to change things. And from that point on, you could tell, like, he's tried to do the correct things to make the Patriots successful, and for the most part, he has. So in terms of ownership, he's definitely a Hall of Fame owner. But,
yeah, I agree.
But he's 85 and not in the Hall of Fame.
It blows my mind. And they said, some of the people who voted said that, the former players, it was Ken Anderson. He was a quarterback for Cincinnati.
Yep, before
Roger Craig.
Yep.
And Elsie Greenwood. They were worried about them not getting another chance on the ballot.
So that's the rule I'm talking about. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, if they're already on the senior ballot, it shouldn't be limited. These guys are going to be dead within 10 years. And I can't stand post-mortem Hall of Fame. It sucks. It's great for the existing family, but it still hurts that family because they can't celebrate with the inductee. It's bullshit, dude. First of all those three players should all be in the Hall of Fame. Elsie Greenwood was a beast guard. Roger Craig was the first running back ever to have 1,000-yard receiving and 1,000 yards rushing in a season. I know he fumbled a ton because he fumbled away their third straight Super Bowl which LT picked up and Eric
He
Howard
did.
paused.
Yes.
So, and he also fumbled in the Super Bowl against the Bengals that almost cost them. But he, in my mind, is still a Hall of Famer. And then, so
He
LC
was
Green
on
was
the all-'80s team too.
yeah, and Ken Anderson was definitely a Hall of Famer too. I listened to Boomer a lot, so I had time to watch some of his game tape. And he was just like Dan Fouts. Dan Fouts been in the Hall of Fame for like 40 years. Ken Anderson, very similar to Dan Fouts' career. They both went to a Super Bowl. They both lost the Super Bowl. They both threw for a ton of yards. Like, Kenny Anderson was legit, man.
So what blows me away, there are 16 owners in the Hall of Fame. And the most recent ones, Jerry Jones, Wellington Mara, obviously I believe he deserves it.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie DeBartolo from San Francisco, who got in a scandal and had to sell the team.
I watched that. Have you been watching that?
No.
It's fantastic.
What they have a story on Eddie DeBartolo?
It's a 4-part documentary on AMC hosted by Tom Brady called The Rise of the 49ers. I've watched 2 of the 4 episodes, and it's
I watched that.
You know, we're Giant fans. It's intoxicating. It's so interesting, and I really love Bill Walsh because he's a special dude, man. He is a special coach.
There's still people from his coaching tree. I mean,
there always will be, just because of how good he was. And you know, I didn't realize this until watching the show. Bill Walsh was Coach Brown. What's it for the Browns?
Paul Brown. Yep.
Paul Brown's
he's a disciple. Yep.
Quarterbacks coach.
Yeah. Yep. It all goes back.
And then Sam Weish was drafted by Paul Brown and Bill Walsh, and then became the Bengals head coach. And then they play in the Super Bowl against each other. It's an incredible story.
Yeah. No, I know. There's so many Bill Walsh disciples. I know Mike Holmgren was one of them. But, Jerry Jones, he wins 3 Super Bowls. Mara has several. DeBartolo had several. Robert Kraft had, 6? Like, I don't know how you ignore that. And
6 and went to 9, I think.
And I get the the massage parlor thing.
Yeah, it's a bad job.
However, the charges were dropped. He was never convicted of anything.
That doesn't.
But people still hold a grudge against Belichick and Kraft.
Yeah.
For Spygate.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. They think they cheated. Spygate and Deflategate.
Did you see what a really prominent head coach, Jimmy Johnson, came out and was like, hey, we were all doing it. And if that's the only reason you're holding this guy out, it's BS. Like, we were all, that's part of the game is scouting the other play calls and seeing if you can figure it out.
Yeah.
It's a chess match.
Absolutely. And Kraft didn't even know about it.
Yeah, he didn't know. Yeah.
No knowledge about it.
No.
So, and he really lobbied this past year. He had public relations really push for him to get in, and he really lobbied to be selected. And he didn't get in, and it blows my mind. And even Bill Polian, he's in, and he said, when Kraft didn't get in 2024, he lost sleep over it, and he's sick about it. And now he doesn't get in again, and they're thinking that it's linked to Belichick because Belichick's cheating. Kraft was the owner, and they're linking them together. Now, I definitely think Kraft should have gotten in. If you want to hold Belichick accountable for whatever, fine, and discipline him a year. But Kraft doesn't have years. You should have let him in.
I mean, it would have been nice if he got in when his wife was still around.
Exactly. She would have appreciated that so much, and that just blew my mind. And I hope that they find a way, at least next year, to get him in, and he survives. But he definitely deserved it. I wanted to ask. So we talked about Shedeur Sanders going to the Pro Bowl.
God, dude.
So the Browns hired Todd Monken as their head coach.
Yep.
Todd Monken, he did a good job with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Obviously, Harbaugh had a tumultuous relationship with Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Monken comes to Cleveland, and I just wonder, is Cleveland going to be able to do anything right? Because they wanted to keep the defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz. They thought, their defense did a great job. He's under contract. They want to keep him. And, they're still undecided about this. Monken hasn't made a decision. I know the ownership wants to keep him, but when your head coach has a coordinator he doesn't want, it doesn't usually turn out well.
No, and Schwartz doesn't want to be there.
No, he's pissed.
He's furious. Rightfully so, dude. That guy has job. I get it. He probably comes off as a complete asshole, but time and time again, he's got a top 5 defense every year. Every year, this guy's thrown out a top 5 defense.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
And it's been on like multiple different teams. It almost feels like he's a D coordinator at a different place every year.
Yeah, he's a mercenary. He just comes in, does his job, and he goes wherever he has to. So the other thing that I thought was interesting, Roger Goodell is going to reevaluate the Rooney Rule because only one minority coach was hired this cycle, and that minority coach was Robert Saleh, who's Lebanese, like me. But 75% of the league is African American, and as far as coordinators go, head coaches go, it's just not working. A few years ago, I think it was 2022, they had 7 or 8 minority head coaches. And, the Rooney Rule made it so you had to interview a minority head coach. Yep. And then they changed it to, you had to interview 2 minority candidates before making a hire. I can't even see that is possible because some of these teams hired coaches so fast. How in the hell did they interview 2 minority coaches?
They had to do it over Zoom, and they had to count Mike McDaniel because he's mixed.
Right. Yes, he is. He's Jewish descent and something else. And I think it's great that he got the coordinator job. I think he'll do very well there.
Oh, they're going to be awesome. They are going to be awesome next year.
The only 3 black head coaches right now, D'Amico Ryans, the Texans, Todd Bowles, who I love, Tampa Bay, Aaron Glenn of the Jets, who probably should have been fired, but it's a business.
Yeah.
It's $1 billion industry, and it's a performance-based industry. Are you going to force teams to hire black coaches and make it like almost a DEI situation where
Never
you know,
works.
I just it's like, there's such a lack of diversity, and they're trying to have more coordinators, more position coaches, and they're trying to move them up the ladder faster so
I
they
honestly,
can get a shot.
just from my experience, I think I know the head coaching thing is an issue, but if you look at the past 20 years, they've made huge strides. The vast
Oh,
majority
they
of
have
I mean, so forget head coaches. The vast majority of assistant coaches
position coaches. Yes,
are not white.
correct.
There's more GMs and front office executives than there ever has been that are not white. And anytime you force a racism rule like the Rooney Rule, even though it might have good intentions, it's not going to work out because you're still screwing over another part of people off of racism. And I know
No,
racism is the whole problem and the whole root of it, but you can't fix racism with racism. It doesn't work.
and you go back to even Brian Flores when he was fired from the Dolphins.
Yeah.
He's still suing the NFL because he felt. Remember when
Yeah,
the
no, I
Giants
think he's right.
hired?
Belichick texted him, "Hey, good job," and he's like, "You got the wrong Brian." Like,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
Dayball.
I actually have no problem with B Flow having that lawsuit because if I put myself in his shoes, I'd be furious.
I would be batshit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bunch of BS.
And he's done well now.
He's a great coach, man. He's a great coach.
For the Vikings as the DC. He did a great job.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just crazy how it all turned out.
Yeah.
So
the other thing we also have to realize is that this shouldn't be a race thing, but as you said, the majority of players in the league, what is it, like 90-95% are
75%, but maybe it's higher.
Color.
Yeah.
Paul Pasqualoni said this to me one time, and I believed it ever since. There are players and there are coaches.
100%.
Players play, coaches coach.
Absolutely.
I feel as a player, now I'm trying to like teach and help and train certain kids, but in my core, I really don't feel I'm a coach. I feel I'm a player. But I'm going to dip my toes into it here and there.
Yeah, you haven't done it long enough, and I felt the same way when I had my first college job at Colgate. Mm-hmm. I was absolutely terrified going out there, and I couldn't wait for Indy to be over because I just wanted to go to team. I was like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'm running around yelling like a maniac. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this. It's scary, but once you keep doing it, you get more comfortable and you understand the job. Yeah. And it's really all about getting your players to buy in to what you're selling. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what you're selling. As long as they all buy in and believe in it and believe in themselves, believe in your game plan, you're going to have success. Yeah. That's all it is. It's getting them to buy in and believe. And it's being a good teacher, knowing the game plan, because week to week, a lot of stuff changes and you have to teach that in your meetings. Go through the film. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of teaching. And then you got to make corrections. And then you watch film and you get, anytime your player screws up, you get motherfucked for it. Yeah. So it's definitely not easy. It's definitely not easy, but I think that you will adapt fine to it because you have a great mind for football and you really have to care about kids. Yeah. And I think that you do. So once you get into it, you'll be more comfortable and you'll enjoy it. I think that's great that you're doing it.
Yeah, one thing I'm going to preface to the kids, and I've told the coach this. Football is a different animal.
It
Like
is.
like anything that you're passionate about, you have to love. Football is not a sport to just try and give it a shot.
It's
More
exactly
so,
what Julius said.
it's true. Like if
Yeah.
you've you're the same way. You played after college. You don't try to play after college unless you love the game. If you can't get enough of the game, if you're addicted to the game, if you're addicted to getting better, you're constantly in the weight room, you're in the field house or outside working on drills because you can't get enough of it. That's what it takes. And a lot of guys in college are like that. And as you go up, it's more and more. High school, I'm a little worried about. How much do they love the game? Because it's tough to coach kids or train kids that aren't really in love with the game.
That's the biggest thing. 100%. And they don't understand that it's not just what you do at practice. Football is really year round. I mean, you have to work on things constantly.
Yep.
You have to work on technique. You know, Julius right now, he's doing his 5v5 tournaments. They've already been, they went out to Minnesota. They were at California this past weekend. They're going
Did
to
they ever come to
Texas.
Connecticut?
They are coming to Connecticut. Yes, they're coming to Connecticut in April, I believe.
Okay.
For Matt Lawrence's thing. But yeah, I mean, he does that all the time. I mean, he works with these kids 3 times a week, and then he takes 15 to 17 on the road, and they compete in these tournaments. And these tournaments are wild. I'm still shocked that like fights don't break out, because I would fight someone in a heartbeat. I mean, if I got embarrassed or beat, I'd fight him. I mean, that's just how it would be. I wouldn't think twice. So we have the Super Bowl Sunday. Not a ton of buzz around it, and I think it's because people were very disappointed in the AFC Championship with the Pats and the Broncos. With the Broncos having to play the third string quarterback, or Jared Stitham, whatever his name is. And, that fourth down where they should have kicked a field goal and they didn't. And then the weather got shitty and, nobody could do anything. Seattle, I like Seattle.
I think they're going to win.
I do too. And I am just so happy for Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has gone through fucking the second circle of hell. He was, I can't remember if he was the first pick of the draft with the Jets, but he was up there. He goes into a horrible situation with the Jets. I think they kept him 2 years, and they give up on him, send him to Carolina for pennies on the dollar, like for a couple late round draft picks. And it's another terrible situation. He started, I think, 7 games, and then he got benched. And it was funny because Carolina at the time had him and Baker Mayfield on their as their quarterbacks. And now look at him. He goes from Carolina to San Francisco, basically sits the whole year. And he said that's where he learned the most from Shanahan and even Purdy.
Yeah.
And that's why, I think it's important. And we talked about this with Jackson Dart. We wanted him to be able to sit and watch a little bit more and not get thrown right into the fire, because sometimes it burns up these quarterbacks. So Darnold goes to Minnesota. He's signed as a backup for J.J. McCarthy. McCarthy gets hurt in the spring, out for the year. Darnold is the starter, and he lights it up. Unbelievable statistically. He threw for over 4,000 yards. I can't remember how many touchdowns. Yeah, he did. And they were 14-3. And, part of the reason the general manager at Minnesota got fired was they let Darnold walk after the year because of that one bad playoff game. He I think it was against Detroit. I can't remember. No, it was the Rams, I believe. He took a beating, man. And, he didn't play well. So they let him walk. And he goes to Seattle. He doesn't put up spectacular numbers as far as touchdowns and interceptions. He threw for over 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. They had a good running game, but they had a great offense. They were destroying teams. And I think he is just in FU mode. And Mike Vrabel, I think, is coach of the year by far. I think he should be coach of the year.
Yeah, there's a couple guys. I mean, if he wins, I have no problem with that. It's just, I guess he's gone the farthest in a first year.
Well, McDonald would be too for Seattle if he wins the Super Bowl in his first year.
And he's never been a head coach before.
No.
And also, I don't like these two other guys, but Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen did a pretty good job. They're both douchebags, but Ben
Johnson did a good job. Yes,
he did.
Cohen, yep.
By the way, my prediction for next year is the Tennessee Titans. I don't know if they're going to win the South or
the AFC South, yeah.
But so they were the worst team this year, I think, right? Weren't they the worst?
They were awful, yeah.
I think
the Raiders have the first pick.
Oh, right.
But
I think Tennessee's going to win 7 or 8 games next year, which is a great turnaround. Just because these two coaches, Dable and Saleh, coached in New York, and you have no idea what that does to prepare you. And when you get to Nashville, it's got to be like a country club or walking into the pearly gates of heaven. Yeah. There's pressure, but not like New York.
You're a Navy SEAL. Jesus. You're a Navy SEAL. And I agree with you. And I also think Daniel Jones coming back.
So the Colts are going to be pretty good. Also, Cam Ward, I was impressed with how he improved and stayed healthy all up until the last game when he dove for that touchdown. So
right.
Had a major injury.
Right.
But apparently Dable was slamming the table for him, but they couldn't get him. But he also liked Dart a lot. So, and you can like more than one person. It's fine.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
I just think they're going to be good. And I think the Bears are going to be bad next year.
Yeah, I'm not a Caleb Williams guy. I think it was a fluke this year, and he stunk in the playoffs. That was a disappointment. The 49ers, I think when they're healthy, they're great. They had so many injuries in the playoffs, and that derailed them. And that's what opened the door for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
But that's what upsets me so much about Buffalo is that this was their year.
Totally.
Yeah. They should have beaten the Broncos. That stupid catch was a catch. I don't care what anyone says. And that changed the momentum. And then the 47 yards in pass interference penalties at the end. It's like, just give them the fucking game. Like, really?
Yeah.
It was crazy to me. And then Bo Nix, broken ankle, played on it and got him through. And the AFC Championship, Drake May, MVP candidate. I wasn't as impressed with him in the playoffs. I don't know how he's going to do on the big stage. And, I think Seattle has a really good defense. They have a good running game. And I think that their play action passing has really helped Darnold. and that's why I think Seattle is going to win. I
Yeah.
think they're going to win. I didn't even see. Did you see what the spread is?
No, but I can look it up.
I'm curious to know what the spread is on this.
I have Jim Schwartz's bio page up if you want to go back to that.
Jim Schwartz's bio page. Oh my God. Because I was talking with
Superbowl
Joe.
spread. Seahawks are favored by 4.5.
Okay, yeah, Joe D thought it was going to be close. I would take the Seahawks.
How's that miserable prick doing?
Joe D,
Yeah.
he's still pretty miserable.
Give him my best.
He hasn't yelled at me as much lately, which is good. But no, he's been good. So I wanted to mention you get a gold star for The Hunt, the movie you selected for me. I had no idea what it was going in. You just said Betty Gilpin was in it. So I was like, I'm in. And then I'm watching it and I'm like, holy fuck, what did I just get myself into?
I know.
And it was just violent. It was violent and it was scary. Wow. I was just blown away by it. But it was a phenomenal pick. And I said Hilary Swank also I thought was great. So
I just wish Hilary Swank got more of a I wish she suffered a little bit more at the end.
Yes, yeah, I agree on that. So last thing, your thoughts. UConn.
Yep.
64 new players.
Jesus Christ.
From the transfer portal, and I believe freshmen as well. 64 new players.
And how many new players were last year?
Last year, no, they had a lot. They had like 50 last year too, as well. I mean, that's what they do. That's what they've done. They rebuilt the quarterback room. Merklinger, the guy from Tennessee, I think he'll be okay. They have a really good freshman coming in from Indianapolis. The only returner is Tucker McDonald, who was hurt and unable to play in the bowl game. Now, I was thrilled because the East-West Shrine game was played. And as we know, Joe Figiano decided not to play in the Fenway Bowl because he wanted to train for the East-West Shrine game.
Right.
Skylar Bell said he was going to play, played one series, called it a day. Had to get ready for the Shrine game. Joe was probably the worst out of the quarterbacks in the Shrine game. Very happy for that. And Skylar didn't catch a pass, nor was he targeted. So it just blows my mind. Like,
are they both invited to the combine?
Skylar is, Joe is not.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at that. So now,
Skylar can make up for it. Skylar was a guy who benefited from Gordy Ozempic in his game plan because Gordon was smart and moved him around. Mm-hmm. You know, he had him out wide. He had him in the slot. He had him in motion. He had him in the backfield. And he had creative ways of getting him the ball. You know, wide receiver screens. He did so many different things to get him the ball in space. And that's what made him great. In an all-star game, it's generic. You know, you're getting generic route combinations, generic plays. So they're not, you know, building a game plan to feature Skylar Bell. So I think that's what hurt him. But I think he can rebuild from this. He can come back as long as
he has a good combine, runs a 40, and maybe even doesn't even need to participate in a pro day, or vice versa, doesn't participate in pro day. He should be fine. Joe needs to show as much as he can, even though he had a good year. They still want to see it in comparison to other guys. So you say he had a bad East-West Shrine game. There's a 9.
He's projected is like the 14th best quarterback in the draft, and it's a shitty draft class.
And that's not going to get him drafted. The 14th quarterbacks.
No. Mel Kiper said at best he'd be a 7th round pick, but most likely an undrafted free agent.
And what is Linta telling his parents?
His father told me that he thinks he's going in the 3rd round. His father, when he was leaving me messages and was angry with me for saying he quit on his team and abandoned his team and all that stuff. Yeah. And his father also said Ty Simpson could not have played at Maine as well as Joe did in those conditions. So that shows delusional.
We thought Orlovsky was going to be drafted in the top 3 rounds.
That's the exact same thing I said. The best quarterback.
Top 3 rounds.
Yep.
We thought he had a bad Senior Bowl.
Yep.
Because he was sick. Yep. And that dropped him to the middle of the
5th round. Exactly. And that's what I said. I said the best quarterback in UConn history who played against real competition.
Yeah, really good competition.
Virginia Tech, Miami, West Virginia, all this stuff. He went in the 5th round. So you think Joe is going in the 3rd round? I don't know what planet we're on.
No way, dude. Yo, that dude Pavia.
Delusional.
Yeah.
Delusional.
That dude Pavia, who was the runner-up Heisman.
Yes.
I mean, he'll be lucky if he gets drafted. I think he might get drafted like the 5th or 6th round.
When I saw him,
yeah,
he looks like he looks like a midget. I mean, he's so small.
5'9".
Yeah.
He's smaller than Kyler Murray, and he is no athlete. Kyler Murray is.
No. It's just going to be a mess. And the transfer portal, Menza from Duke ends up settling and goes to Miami. I'm sure they paid for it. And Clemson with Dabo Sweeney, the situation there. They had a linebacker that transferred in from Cal. And then the linebacker was going to class. He had an apartment, a car. He had the revenue sharing agreement. Ole Miss kept contacting him, texting him, whatever. And he told the coaches, I'm happy here. I want to stay here. No problem. And, the general manager from Clemson called Ole Miss and said, listen, stop fucking with our player.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. He said, but Coach Golding does what Coach Golding does. So it was that Friday, I think it was last week, where the kid said, I'm transferring to Ole Miss. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, how can you not control the transfer portal is utter disaster. Yeah. And I say that because 10,000 kids went into it, 3,000 got signed. There's 7,000 right now without a home.
I was trying to explain it to my mom, and it's tough to explain. I just said they're professionals now. Like there's no
loyalty.
There's no loyalty. How can you fall in love with a team when you could leave at any moment or be cut at any moment? Like, and I know I talked about this before, and that's what happens when you're like a fringe player in the league. You get bounced around. It's tough.
Yeah.
You lose the love of the game because you end up being just a piece of meat. Like, no one is showing you loyalty, so why should you show it back? Even though you try. Like, you get on a team and you're like, all right, I love this team. And then 2 days later, you're cut and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, college is supposed to be different in the sense where if a team offers you a scholarship, the scholarship is now guaranteed for 4 years.
Yeah.
The revenue sharing agreement is not. It's year to year, and some teams are making it 2 years. Mm-hmm. So that's what can change. But I feel bad because the NCAA thought by making it 15 days that it was going to deter kids from going into the portal. It did not. It made them panic, and more went in. And now there's 7,000 kids without a home. I think it's terrible that the NCAA did that, and it just was a disaster. And they need a regulatory body. I'm glad that Dabo Sweeney filed an official complaint against Ole Miss. But, I was talking with Burton, and Burton's like, they'll get a slap on the wrist. And nothing big will happen to him for it. So it's just frustrating, and it's disappointing. So Sunday, are you guys doing anything for the Super Bowl? You just watching it at home?
Nothing special. Maggie, I'm excited, and I was like, I'm more excited for the commercials. Like our team,
of course.
If you're a diehard fan of another team, you don't give a shit about who's playing in the Super Bowl.
No.
You're pissed. I mean, I'm obviously going to watch and dissect it and watch it like a coach and rewind certain plays 50 times and drive my family nuts. But after a while, I'll probably just, I don't know, lose interest or maybe work or something. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
And then, the other thing is, like, I know this Bad Bunny halftime show is making a big deal, but I will say this. I think Bad Bunny might be funnier as a comedian than as an artist, even though he just won a ton of Grammys. The dude's been on SNL twice, and I was blown away with how funny he was.
He tears it up.
I was like, this guy is funny, man. Like, I don't listen to his music.
He wrestles too,
He what?
He's wrestled.
What?
He wrestled at WrestleMania. Yeah, he was awesome.
So he comes off to me as like a pretty likable guy.
Yeah.
I doubt I'm gonna watch the halftime show.
I always hate the halftime show.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I hate it.
And it's just always awkward and
it is
over the top. But
the production is so fucking stupid, and they bring all the fans on the field, and I hate it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And the fact that they make the performer pay is so crazy.
Yes, of course. It's all about the Benjamins. It's all about the Benjamins. But great job.
Thanks.
Great analysis.
Bill Walsh.
Bill Walsh. So I got to watch this series. It's on AMC.
Yep.
Is it AMC Plus or just AMC?
No, it's on regular AMC, so it's free.
And I can watch it like on demand? It's on demand?
Yes, I just watched it on the morning.
Perfect. I cannot wait to watch that. Wait to watch it. That's great.
And the best scene is that fucking Leonard Marshall hit.
Of course. I'll never forget it. I watched it live. I'll never forget it.
Oh, I'll never forget it too. I was right there with you. And Jim Burt, I didn't see live, but Jim Burt fucked him up too in the '86 playoff.
In the '86 one, yes. Yep.
I realized this. I forgot about it. So obviously they go to the Super Bowl in '81 and '84 and win.
86 and 90, they went to the Super Bowl.
Well, yes, those exact dates. But like there was a little stretch there similar to the Lakers where there was questioning, like 85 the Bears go.
And the Giants had a great year.
86 the Giants go.
Yep.
7 the Redskins go.
Yeah, the Giants had a rough year in 87.
Until 88. So that's a 4-year gap where I didn't realize they were getting criticized. Like Joe hadn't thrown a touchdown in the playoffs in three years. Bill Walsh was getting questioned. Could he win the big game anymore? I had no idea because I was like 3 or 4.
You're talking about the 49ers. Yes. They won 81 and 84. Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 85, 86, 87, they don't go back till 88. And it's like, go to that. And then they play the first 3.5 quarters, they play like shit.
Dog shit.
And then they have the one drive where it clicks.
And Joe Montana's line is, "Isn't that John Candy?"
Yep. And he talks about that. And then Bill Walsh retires 2 days after the game.
He did. Yeah. He did. I mean, he had enough, and it was a grind. I mean, that's when, like Joe Gibbs and those guys were sleeping in their offices.
Yeah.
And then George Seifert comes in and he wins the '89 Super Bowl. Yep. They just destroyed the Broncos.
He talked about regretting that because he goes, nothing against George Seifert, but I left like the best team in NFL.
He did. He did. They had everything. They had everything. Offense, defense, special teams, they had everything. So I can't wait to watch that. So I'm gonna go check that out. But
I'm gonna go fix my dryer.
yeah, and I know you have to go to work too. So
Yep.
have fun.
Thank you.
And I will text you. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and we will talk soon. And just remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at life.